A warm outdoor jacket, a powerful drill, and a cold beer in the evening sun. Can you guess what these things have in common? Sure, they're all products from well-known companies, Patagonia, Bosch, and Carlsberg. But here's something you might not know. These companies all share a special corporate ownership structure, one that many businesses around the world are already embracing: steward-ownership. Sounds a bit dry and technical? Maybe. But talking about ownership actually raises some big questions. Who has power in companies, and who benefits from the value and profits they create, and why? Ownership concerns all of us because it affects how companies behave. So let's break it down. Most companies look like this. You have employees, managers, entrepreneurs, and often investors too. Ownership initially lies with the entrepreneurs, the individuals who founded the company or took it over at some point. And as company owners, they basically have two key rights. 1. The right to take the big decisions and steer the wheel, voting rights. And 2. The right to take profits and monetize the overall value. These rights are bundled together, so power and money come as a package deal here. And when investors come in, the same logic applies. They provide the money that the company needs to grow and, in return, receive their own bundle of rights. They become owners as well. Now, this setup is not necessarily a problem, as many entrepreneurs and investors act in the best interests of their companies. But it also opens the door to something we frequently witness: a company being treated mainly as a vehicle for making money for its owners. This also includes selling the company on the market, like a commodity, to the highest bidder, sometimes over and over again. Often, the new owners don't care much about the company itself. They are primarily interested in making profits, viewing the company as an object of speculation. Its actual purpose and mission take a backseat. And this affects how these companies operate. An example. Imagine you need to go to the hospital and picture two different scenarios. Option A. The hospital has been bought by a big investment fund. The staff and doctors are under pressure to cut costs and boost profits for distant shareholders they've never even met. Option B. Control over the hospital cannot be sold. Profits are primarily reinvested into the hospital itself. The staff can focus on the true purpose of their work, caring for patients' health. Today, more and more company owners choose option B, and that's exactly what steward ownership is all about. But how does it work? Instead of bundling power and money, steward ownership separates them. Control stays with the entrepreneurs. Voting rights are handed over in trust to the next generation of responsible leaders. The company stays independent. This is the first principle of steward ownership: self-determination. The second principle is called purpose orientation. This means that profits and the value of the company always serve its purpose. Profits are reinvested, used to pay fair wages, cover capital costs, or are donated. Entrepreneurs can still receive compensation for their efforts, but they cannot extract profits just like that, or even sell the company for their own benefit. Of course, they're still owners. They own the voting rights and bear full responsibility. However, they manage the company's value and profits as stewards. That makes them steward owners. The key twist: all of this is not just a philosophy or a promise. It's legally built into the DNA of the company and cannot be changed back just like that. And the investors? They still play an important role, but the focus lies on fostering a healthy financing partnership. Investors provide capital and they get returns for their investments. However, these returns are always limited in some way, and investors do not receive a whole ownership bundle. Because in steward-owned companies, control is never for sale. Oh, and we've saved the best for last. Research shows that steward-owned companies survive longer and are more resilient in crises. They operate more sustainably and are more innovative. They have happier employees who stick around longer and even have lower divorce rates. Seriously. So, as you can see, the way ownership is set up makes a difference. The questions of who holds power and who receives profits aren't just worth asking. Answering them in a different way is key to creating independent companies, flourishing economies, and healthy societies.